Is off Florida's east coast and could reach the Carolinas later this week. Nearly 400,000 residents are under mandatory evacuations in North Carolina. This afternoon, we are getting new images showing the extent of Dorian's destruction across the northern Bahamas. From the air over Abaco Island, you can see the damage just stretches for miles. Entire neighborhoods flattened and homes shredded. Some airports now look more like lakes. The storm slammed the islands for 2 days with 30 inches of rain. At least 7 people were killed. We have team coverage on the storm. We begin with reporter Nicole Killian live in Atlantic Beach, Florida. Nicole, what are the conditions like out there right now?
Well, certainly nothing compared to what happened in the Bahamas. I mean, we are getting some rain, and it has been heavy at times, along with strong wind gusts. But for the most part, these are tropical storm conditions. And now if you take a look at the water, we've also seen, of course, the surf picking up. And this is around the time of high tide. We were talking to a lifeguard out here earlier today who said that's kind of what he would be watching, simply because when Matthew came here about 3 years ago, you know, it certainly brought the water way up kind of into town here and really created a flooding event. Now, because they have these sand berms up, so far we haven't seen that, but certainly that is something officials here will be watching for as the afternoon progresses.
Sure. Nicole, do you think people feel like they've dodged a bullet considering what happened in the Bahamas?
You know, relatively speaking, yes, because again, I mean, you just look at those images and nothing compares to that, especially what we're seeing here. Now, keep in mind that Dorian is well off course. The center, that is, Dorian's eye is probably a good, 80 to 100 miles offshore. So at this point, we're just kind of getting the outer bands of this storm, which is massive as it makes its way up the southeast coast. But certainly people here breathing a sigh of relief. I talked to one city official earlier today who said, if things hold, they're hopeful they can kind of open things back up and get back to normal by tomorrow. Michelle?
Yeah, that would be ideal. Okay, Nicole Killian live in Florida. Thank you. And meteorologist Mary Lee has been tracking this storm for some time now. Mary?
That's right, Michelle. So heavy rain, strong winds now impacting the southeast coast. A weather station in Jacksonville reporting a wind gust of 55 miles per hour due to Dorian. So this is the radar here. And now let's show you the latest stats. It is still a Category 2 storm, maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. It is 115 miles northeast of Jacksonville, with a movement out of moving to the northwest at 9 miles per hour. So there is the projected path of Dorian. So really watching the Carolina coast under a hurricane warning. So it could make landfall along the Carolina coast as we go through tomorrow and Friday. You can see that cone a possibility in the consensus just really close to the Carolina coast. So the latest for you, windy, wet conditions along the Florida coast, the North Carolina and South Carolina coast. Likely will see significant impacts with this storm, and that coastal flooding possible as far north as Long Island.